courtroom anyways. But they believe they're doing a service to the whole world by pretending to be people they aren't. So the gravity is what brings people down, and so if you commit a crime and you use that to tell your story, to speak, we'll support you. We will allow you to tell whatever stories you want to tell, but you'll be amongst the people who told the same stories and were in prison, are now in prison. So you can either accept your freedom as it is, or you can commit crimes, have a moment to speak, and spend the rest of your life in jail. They're literally trying to get people to either be in jail or die or have sex with the gay community. And someone invented the technology to do it.
And again, just to back up,
Go for it.
What happened with CS Logistics then? You just put other. Was it because of the harassment that you, why did that end?
I stopped working at CS Logistics 2 months ago.
I'm sorry, UPS. I forget. Yes.
No, so I was outside in the parking lot. A guy was bending over. His butt was coming out of his pants. So I kept seeing more and more inches of his crack as I continued to drive through the parking lot. And he's exactly where I park every day. So I told him, I'm so sorry. I told this man, this is the second time he's did it. The third time I've had an interaction with him. The other interaction I had was that he coughed into his hand like this, and then he looked at me like I was supposed to say something to him about coughing into his hand as he was taking my order at the cash register. So the guy was standing at the cash register. He went like this.
Oh, he's a restaurant worker?
Yes. And then he looked at me. He looked right at me, like I was supposed to say something to him about what I saw, but I chose not to, and I ignored it. I completely ignored what he did. I continued to order, and got my food. And walked out. He comes back out yesterday or 2 days ago, and he's bending over. He's putting his kid in the car, but as he does, and this is something he did before, his shirt falls upwards, and his pants are already below his butt line. So when his shirt goes forward, his butt is visible to the public. And I think he wears his pants. No, I know he wears his pants like that. I can tell. So when he stood up, his shirt came back down, and it covered his butt up. But his pants were in the same place. So if he stood back up, his butt would be, or he leaned forward, his butt would be showing to the public. And I think he kept, since it happened twice, the same place in the same way, I think he's advertising. That's like advertisement, or you're displaying your butt to the public on purpose. And either way, no one's supposed to see that. So I told the guy the same thing I've told people for the last, since I can remember. Go fuck yourself. Because I know you are doing that to me to make me see your butt because you think I'm in the gay community. You think I would like to see your butt.
I thought you were going to say go F yourself.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Go F yourself. I said.
You did say go F yourself?
No, I said go fuck yourself. I said go fuck yourself. And I told him to pull. I don't want to see your ass in public. No, I don't want to see your ass when I come to work. And he said. I said go fuck yourself. I don't want to see your ass in public. And he said. And he asked me, where do I work? I said, at the UPS store. And he said, I'm going to talk to your manager. And I said, well, they won't be here for another 15 minutes. And then he said, that's all right. No, he said nothing. He grabbed his kid, ran to the door. The door was locked. He went back to his car, drove to the front door, sat there for like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, however, I think it was 15 or 20 minutes. And then when I walked up to the door, he got back out of his car and he confronted me. He said, do you think that's appropriate to be abusive to people, to be aggressive or something like that? And then I said, someone used technology to stop my memories, and they spoke the words, tell him, do you think it's okay if I had a kid, they should see your butt in public? And he said, and he didn't say anything. He sat down in his car, he closed his door, and that was the end of the discussion. I recorded the discussion. I had a camera rolling in my pocket because I saw that he was still sitting at the door while I walked up to the door. So I turned this camera on and I put it in my pocket so he couldn't see. And then because I knew he was going to talk to me. I ignored him, but he got out of his car and started talking to me anyways. I was pretty sure he was going to do that. And then I clocked into work, and before I got to the door, and as I got there, I knew that I had to address this issue like an employee instead of a person on the street now, because I appear to be working, and I am officially clocked in.
Okay.
So I addressed him. I said, hey, you're not supposed to, no, if you have a problem, the manager will be here at some point. You can talk to them if you want to. I was confident that there is absolutely nothing that I did that was related to the company. I was off the clock. I was 20 minutes ahead of work. There's no relation between me and the company. I was just another dude in the parking lot, as far as I was concerned. And I don't believe I have to follow policies that someone's not paying me to follow. When you're off the clock, this is your personal life now. Do whatever you want. When you clock in, there are rules and policies you have to follow. So the guy I worked for decided that because he told me not to address anybody inside his store before. He said never address anyone inside my store about their wardrobe. If you see someone's butt, tell the manager. And any amount of butt inside the store, which should be zero. There should be 0 butts on display, any amount of it on display in anybody's store. The owner of the UPS is pro butt showing, so he doesn't care that people show their butts, or he's afraid that they'll be violent if you tell them to pull their pants up. So I prefer to say that he thinks it's okay to show butts in public, and he has a large employment of gay people. So everyone I worked with at the UPS store was in the gay community. There was nobody in the heterosexual community who worked. So even the owner. One day I was working, and I sat in a chair, and the owner I was sitting in the chair like I am now, and the owner did this to my face. So I was sitting here, and the owner, Jack McWilliams, put a box down like this, and then he stuck his butt in my face. So I think Jack McWilliams supported the gay community, and he was supporting the sexual harassment I was dealing with my coworkers. So while I was working there was that. So they were gay. So they were doing things that gay people do to bother other people, and then acting normal again. So they do it really quick, and then act normal like a normal person. And then so Jack decided to do it as well. He put his butt directly in my face, so I just looked straight forward, and I ignored that his butt was in my face. So basically, end of the story, the guy did the same thing that Jack did, so I believe Jack was okay with this behavior. So because I told this man not to do it, Jack felt like it was an offense to the gay community.
Okay.
So you can't hurt the gay community's feelings or tell them no in any way, even if it's a civil like a legal civil.
Sure. I see.
If you to go fuck yourself is like a civil right. It's the best way you can express yourself if you're angry, very very angry, and you want someone to leave you alone. You can say those words. It's the best way to do that. This is probably as far as you can go. So I use those words to explain to this guy, don't do that. Don't stalk me.
Right.
Wait for me to arrive in this parking lot to show me your butt. I don't want to see it. And Jack decided, so if you don't like coming to work and seeing that, you don't have to come here to work. And that was his choice.
Was that today that happened?
I think that happened Sunday. And then Sunday morning, Jack gave the guy who showed me his butt $500. So he gave him a $500 Amazon gift card.
Oh my gosh.
So a guy who exposed himself to the
Pretty
public.
extreme, huh?
So he's telling me I support the gay community out loud. He's telling it to my ears. And then he also told me not to come to any of his properties, any property he has across the city of Madison.
Okay.
Because he feels like I'm a threat to his people. His people are in the gay community. The people he hires are people in the gay community. He thinks I have hurt feelings or I will be violent. Like the news, like the story types that you see in the news. The violent guy who attacks people who are in the gay community out of nowhere. But I think that's what they're trying to make me into. Hate people in the gay community. But instead, I keep telling. And that's pissing people off. So instead of being violent, like these people are trying to get me to do, it is pissing them off that I keep telling. And I keep finding ways to protect myself as well as I can. And Jack was mad because it's been 2 months and I haven't attacked somebody who was gay at work, and I keep showing up to work. So Jack's very upset that I keep showing up to work and I'm not hurting somebody in the gay community or having sex with them. So it makes him look bad. He's like, his community, his members, his constituents are probably thinking, you are giving him money and you are not getting what you paid for out of it. You're paying for him to be violent and attack the other employees, right?
And they're not getting the results of it.
Yeah, so they're not getting what they want out of this. So Jack decided, I think he made a decision that I would not have sex with the people I work with, and I would not be violent towards my coworkers. Okay. So he chose to just terminate me and stop paying me, stop giving me energy for nothing. So the labor I put in didn't mean anything to him. He can find anybody to do that. What he's really paying for was for me to be violent or to have sex with the people I work with. And I chose to do neither.
Well, I appreciate the explanation. I just want to, real quick, you're making sure that SOAR is updated on the employment change and
I gotta tell them
handles and all that
stuff.
stuff.
I'll tell them when
okay.
Cool.
Do you want to do another 11 o'clock for next month?
Sure.
December 12th is another Tuesday.
All right.
I just have to get to an appointment or
Yeah. Isn't that funny that there's like zero reaction to even the smallest portions of my life right now that are pretty negative? Like, even if you didn't believe the technology stories I'm telling you, or wouldn't somebody acknowledge that I've been working with gay people for the last 5 years? Every company I've worked for the last 5 years has placed me amongst a community of gay community members and nobody else. So isn't that interesting?
It's
or unlikely?
highly coincidental.
Yeah, it seems not probable to only work with gay community members for 5 years straight.
It's almost unbelievable.
Yes, and that no one thinks that gay people act like gay people in their free time. So they won't change their behaviors to like I don't know, make hand movements or flip their eyes and bat their eyes at you, like they're interested in you, or do things that are sexually harassing. I think lots of people know that a community, if you work with a gay person, at some point they're gonna do something that gay people do. In that person's mind, it's a sexual reference, because people associate like a hand movement like this to be sexual in nature, like, or he's being flirtatious right now, and so Jack, the guy I work for, would probably think that this is normal behavior. There's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing flirtatious about it. But in our minds, in everybody's minds, when this happens, you're thinking about sex. You're thinking about some sexual reference that this guy's flirting with you. He's being really friendly, and he's doing something flirtatious with you at the moment. So, and it's like he just got away with sexual harassment. You don't like that, but someone is telling you it's okay because it's part of his culture. So his culture is making this movement, which also has an implication of flirting or sex in nature. That's just an example, but sure, the same behaviors keep happening everywhere I work, and so I have to ignore it or tweet it. And
another thing, I mean, not every job opportunity is going to be a good fit for you, and that's just how it is. That's just the reality of it.
Yes, I try.
And I know that you give all these places a shot, and you try to make it work, and beyond what's in your control, they don't work out. But I appreciate you, you know, kind of, I mean, you don't give up, you just
No.
keep going.
You got to keep working. I believe. Oh, so humanity's purpose is to find energy. So, working has energy. Right next to it is the gravity you need to produce that energy. So, I believe in pursuing my purpose. Is all humanity's purpose is to find energy. So, you found it. I don't know. I found it. I'm sorry. Lots of people look for it. You use finances to do it, like a good job provides energy. A life experience provides energy. A good memory is like finding good energy. So that's what our whole lives are about. So at the end of your life, you're supposed to ask yourself, did I find enough energy? Did I produce enough energy? Did I have the best life possible? Did I have the most energy I could have in life at the end of my life? Because that's what we're made out of. We're just things made out of energy that use gravity to control that energy.
I like how you word that, yeah.
So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to pursue my purpose in the way the country allows us, and that's usually by working. And someone is trying to interfere with that ability unless I'm willing to have sex with them. And they invented many ways to do that and get away with it. So that's what I'm trying to tell.
I appreciate that. Just text me, you're good at keeping me updated, just text me if you end up getting that position with Premier Labor.
Oh yeah, they'll probably. I think it's probably again. He said yes.
Okay.
So it's a. I'll update.
I'll just
Yeah.
and then assume that you're, you know, employed with them, and then, you know, if you get, sometimes I know some of the job opportunities might be able to offer something more permanent.
Yes. I will let you know if he gives me anything.
Do you want this, or are you taking like a screenshot?
I'm gonna take a. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's right there. Someone is making me forget that I have. You just told me, and I have a recording of the date on the camera.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't even think of that.
So, yeah. All right, I got it.
That's out of habit. Yep.
Yep. All right.
Always right there.
All right. Let's see. Roll. All right.
Well, I think you find something suitable through Premier Labor.
Yeah, they might have something.
I'll see you next month.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. So that was the parole meeting. Told her everything. I'm just gonna tell. Basically, I just told her every secret I know. So I'm gonna keep telling. Keep telling. Keep telling. You know, she'll hurt your feelings. Gain your trust. They just told me you really like when your parole agent said that you're doing a great job continuing to find work. You're doing a very good job no matter what, searching for work. And you were probably, they just said you were thinking at that time, I still don't trust you. Which is almost true. They just said that. It's almost true, but I don't know what I was thinking. I can't tell you. Maybe I would have decided to trust her. Maybe. But then they said if you did trust her, that's when they break your heart. That's what girls in the gay community do all the time. That's what they said. They gain your trust and then they break it. But yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna keep telling, and then I gotta go home and do this now. I gotta put all these videos together. And yeah, I gotta put all these videos together. All right.